Oh my gosh, good morning. Thank you guys for joining. We are headed out this morning. It's kind of early. We got a little job up in the mountains we got to go do. Might probably take us a month or so. We're headed up there this morning bright and early to get out on the trail and go get a production plan put together. And this backcountry stuff can be logistically challenging, as you can imagine. So a guy wants to have his ducks in a row. But that's where we're headed this morning, and man, it's gonna be a good day.
Hello again. Thank you for checking out my latest dumb moves. And thank you, daughters, for not telling the authorities about, well, basically most of your childhood. In the last episode, we took a very short history lesson on the Nez Perce Trail while heading back to Idaho to begin the history of our trail. Remember the sign. In your life is about to change. Okay, we got the contract to do the trail maintenance on the 34 miles up by McCall, Idaho. My past experiences have been amazing when working in the mountains or for the Forest Service at all. My work is like sex or pizza. Even when it's not that great, it's still sex or pizza. So yeah, it's pretty great. I have performed hundreds of miles of trails maintenance in wilderness and non-wilderness areas all over this country of ours. I had the contract for the Sawtooth National Rec Area for a couple years until the funds dried up. The most challenging remote work I have ever done. No motorized anything, axe, crosscut, and sulky saws. Drop camps all over the wilderness to pick up before snow flies, and bears that had the most Native American sense of humor. One bear somehow got a 1-gallon can of dried apples hanging high up in a tree, opened it up, polished off the apples, and then put it back up in the tree. Not in the same place, but you know that bear was sitting somewhere watching us when we went to get our apples. Another time, this little killer was with me and we had a yearling black bear cross the trail about 15 feet in front of us. Well, Eddie was never one to wait for permission, so off he went, chasing that bear down the trail. 30 feet later, that bear turned around and with its pinky claw, sliced Eddie's mouth from his nostril to his lower jaw. He lost a couple teeth and a lot of blood. It was a long 18 miles out of the mountains that night carrying that dog. But that bear could have easily killed old Ed if he wanted.
There is something about the smell of Long Valley up here in the mornings, and I don't. It's from years ago when I used to run cows up here. But when you get up early up here, and I don't know what the smell is. Battery died. There's a smell up here in the mornings that is just intoxicating, and it's one of those that just takes you back to the very first time you smelled it and the experiences you had, and it's just, this is one of those scents. We are in the big city of McCall. Anyway, we're stopping to get a little fuel here, and then we'll head around the lake and head into the hills. We've been up here once already to scout this trail, but we just had our mountain bike, and I was going to try to do a lot of it with the drone, which for all you drone flyers out there, make sure you have an SD card in, number one. Number two, on your screen, your drone screen, it will tell you that you don't have an SD card in. So continuing to fly your drone and try to take video it's not helpful. So anyway, that's just food for thought. One of my little shortcuts I found was to put an SD card in. Okay, we're getting set up to go. There's some pretty neat history here. Big trapping area before we cleaned them out. They're back now. Most of the marten are, I like to go for a little walk before I get going in the mornings when I'm in the hills. Oh, just to get the blood going. And it's nice to, I don't know how to say it, get in the rhythm of the woods that you're in. A lot of granite back in here. There's a buck standing right there. Straight in front of us. Looking at it. They don't quite know what to think of us.
Back to the task at hand, figuring out how to complete this contract safely and profitably. Basically, the game to play with backcountry work is to reduce risk at all costs. Risk in the mountains, not only can it cost you a fortune, but personal safety and loss of life are punch you in the face, you better pay attention every second, I'm not even kidding a little bit sort of situation. For this contract, I only wanted 2 to 3 people on it any one time. I had a little bike for a camp bike and I thought maybe it would work to go scout the rest of the trail. I got a lot further than anyone would ever believe, but you know, someone did it the first time, blah, blah, blah. Before we could begin our actual work on this job, I had to head back to Montana and spend a couple weeks with my peoples. Guess what we did? In the next episode, we kick back and do summer right. I try to sink Brutus, and I am now a semi-professional amateur novice sailing instructor. Thank you for watching. Thumbs up and subscribe if you also love it when pizza is really, really good. I mean like really good, mind-blowing pizza.